back to one of the issues I raised. They said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a fraudster. A fraudster how? Although it's a myth that have been dispelled, but I want to highlight one or two things here. Because some people give it as an excuse why they will not support the Biafra restoration, why they will not accept the gospel that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu preaches about the Biafra restoration. They say he's a fraudster, he's a scammer. Did Ojukwu defraud your father or your forefather during his time? Did he defraud your uncle? You know, these are excuses that people are bringing up in order to despise the truth. Was Ojukwu a fraudster? The answer is no. Did he defraud the people? Did he defraud your father or your forefather or your uncle, those of them that were alive during the time of the Civil War? The answer is no. Let Odumegwu Ojukwu sacrifice so many things, even expended his father's resources just for the Biafra nation. Yet, some of them sabotaged Biafra during the war. He didn't defraud them. He wasn't a fraudster. So why didn't they stand with him? Some say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is insultive, he's insulting the elders, he's insulting them and all of that. All of these are myths. They are just flimsy and lame excuses. And unfortunately, there is no crutches for lame excuses. But then, they give it as excuse or as reasons why they would not support the Biafra restoration project led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his deputy Jemefo. Now the question is, did Ojukwu insult you? Those of you that were alive during the Civil War, those of you that, you know, were born in that very generation, or your father or your grandfather, did Ojukwu insult them? In fact, late Odumegwu Ojukwu was very meticulous in his choice of words, even though very bold and captivating. He spoke like a statesman. He was not rash, no name calling. Did he insult Gowon? Did he insult Britain? The answer is no. Ojukwu was meticulous in his choice of words. Yet, your fathers or your grandfathers or your uncles as at the time, or even some of you listening to me now, you were there. You were among those that sabotaged the Biafra project. He didn't insult Britain, yet Britain fought against Biafra. He didn't insult Gowon, yet he declared war. Yet, they fought very, very aggressively to make sure that Biafra did not become a nation during the time of Ojukwu. Yet some of your uncles or your fathers or your grandfathers sabotaged the Biafra project led by late Odumegwu Ojukwu. He didn't insult them. This is for those that are saying, oh, why will not support the Biafra restoration is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is insulting our elders. Truth is insult to those that hate the truth. And some say, he didn't consult our kings, he didn't consult our elders, he didn't consult the intellectuals, the leaders of thought and opinion molders, and the members of the clergy and all of that. Let me say something here very, very quickly. There are so many intellectuals in this very Biafra restoration project. There are so many intellectuals also there. There are so many members of the clergy. There are so many prophets, prophetesses. There are so many apostles and GOs and so many. There are so many members of the academia. They are there. There are so many business. So can't you see? Can't you observe? I know you see, but you're just trying to lay hands on, you know, how do I put it now? Just to despise the truth. Just decided to despise the truth. You are not the only Royal Highness. was there during the burial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's parents on the 14th of February. when the royal parents were buried. I was there live. Live. Even the threat that anybody that goes for the burial, there'll be chaos, there will be death and mass shooting and all of that. I said I must be there. As a media and also as a conscientious person and also as a man of God and somebody that is inclined to going a long way with the truth. I was there. I saw the mammoth crowd. Uncountable mammoth crowd. And also I saw royal fathers and title holders and royal highnesses and majesties from the length and breadth of the eastern and the southern regions throughout the Biafran land. They were there. Even before that time, I've been in that very palace up to 9 or 10 times. And I've seen people that delegations upon delegations, even politicians, they used to come in the night. I used to, some of the times we go there, before we go, it's usually late. And the politicians will be coming Nicodemously. Royal highnesses, consultations upon consultations. What about all the global tour of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? He traveled many countries of the world before ever he came back, preceding his arrest in 2015. All those town hall meetings all over the world, in each of the country he went to, are you trying to tell me there were no consultations? Were you not following up the news and the information? Not just news in the air, not just information in the air, on radio, on social media, live consultations. Who will tell you that they were not consulted? Anybody telling you that they were not consulted, even though everybody will not be consulted, every Dick, Tom, and Harry cannot be consulted. There are those that must be consulted. So there are wide range of consultations. I'm not holding brief for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm not. I'm trying to set the record straight from my own observation as an eyewitness of some of all these events. And then he came back. He was arrested, and after he was released, he started traveling again to all the length and breadth of Biafran land, making consultations, consolidating on pre-existing understandings with regards to Biafra restoration. And some people are saying, he didn't consult us, he didn't consult our elders. What about Ojukwu? What about the late People's General Ikemba or the Megojukwu? Didn't they consult your father? Didn't they consult your fathers? Didn't they consult your grandfathers or your uncles? Didn't they consult them? What about the old Eastern Consultative Assembly before the Ahira Declaration? Didn't they consult them? Of course. Then why did Biafra lose the war? Respect. Ojukwu accorded them respect. He never called anybody any names. No name calling, no insult. He consulted Eastern Consultative Assembly and agreed, comprising of all the major stakeholders in the old Eastern region, including your father, your grandfather, your uncle. Some of them were there, and they said, let's go. There were due consultations. So if consultation is the issue, it's not the issue. It's a myth that have been dispelled for a very long time. It doesn't hold water anymore. Still, Nnamdi Kanu consulted a lot of people. He consulted. Up to now, he's still consulting. Up to now, if you don't know. Consultations are still going on now. Oh, you think he just comes on air and do a broadcast? Is that what you're thinking? Or some of you, I don't know. I don't want to say things that you say, oh, this one have started. This one is abusing us or insulting us. Some of you go as far as saying, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not consult our people. He's busy drawing map here and there, annexing our people to Biafra. Let me ask you a very simple question. is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, one of the explorers that drew the African map in which Biafra was made reference to as far back as 1583. 1583. Also in the 18th century, before ever the amalgamation in the 1914. The answer is no. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not one of the explorers. He wasn't even born in the 1583 or the 18th century. He wasn't. The maps have been there. The history has been there. He is trying to continue from where Ojukwu stopped. Very simple. He is trying to bring to life the dead dream of your fathers, your grandfather or your uncles, our people. What wrong has he done?